This is Jonathan Aggoff here for Pro Boxing Fans. Delighted to be joined by former 2-weight world champion Kyle Frampton, the Jackal. How you doing?
I'm doing okay, mate. Yeah, not bad.
Obviously, you've got an opponent now, which is the good thing. Darren Traynor steps in last minute. What's been sort of the situation the last 2 weeks? Can you clarify what's happened?
Well, it's been a disaster for probably the last more than 2 weeks. The last 6 weeks trying to get an opponent and finally get one nailed in. And there was a number of opponents offered a fight, a number of good fighters as well who said no, and then we finally got Vardanyan who was up for the fight, but visa issues ruled him out, so Darren Traynor has come in, and I think, talking about being last minute, I think MTK have actually been paying him to train for the last 4 weeks on the off chance that there was going to be an issue with any opponent with coronavirus or visa issues, so he'll be in decent shape. I think he's got 4-week camp behind him, and he's been training for me for 4 weeks, whereas I've been training for him for a week or less. So I kind of evens the playing field up a wee bit.
He's obviously fought for the British title before. Is this a tougher opponent than who you were going to fight, do you think?
No, he's a tougher opponent certainly than Vardanyan. I think if you look at Vardanyan's record, it looks pretty, 21 wins and 1 loss, but if you actually dissect it, it's not a brilliant record, and Traynor has fought at a higher level than Vardanyan, although he's lost a couple of times, but he's a good fighter, he's brave, he's proud, and I think there's no pressure on him here, so all the pressure's on me to win, not only win, but to look good too, and he's coming to kind of spoil the party.
You obviously train up at the Astley gym with Jamie Moore. At this stage in your career, how much do you alter? Is it just training differently? Has Jamie changed much in sort of recent years?
I think I've a smarter approach to training. So I think that people keep talking about my age and stuff. I'm 33. I'm not 53. So, but I've had a different approach in terms of the number of rounds I've been doing. People forget that sparring in the gym is wear and tear on your body, so I've reduced the number of rounds, and I feel like it's benefited me. There was times where previously I'd done 220 rounds on occasion for a fight, which is too much, so I've reduced that drastically, and I feel that that's one of the things that's going to benefit me.
Obviously, that carrot's dangling with Jamel Herring. You said sort of in the build-up, I think in the Instagram video you did, that whoever the opponent is, they're getting filled in, was the quotes. So are you expecting a big performance on Saturday night?
Look, I want to... Any frustration that I've had in the build-up here, I want to take it out on Darren Traynor, and that's what I intend to do. And the way I sparred in my last fight, if I replicate 90% of what I done in my last spar, then I'll win this fight and I'll win it convincingly.
Just touching on Jamel Herring, obviously he's had 2 cancelled fights, 2 bouts of COVID. Just a word on him, just a terrible situation.
I feel sorry for him, obviously, I have to. I know what it's like. It's not ideal when spending time away from your family and training camp expenses and everything else. It's not nice. So I was a bit gutted for him, but I think he's got a fight penciled in for September at some point, and hopefully he comes through that unscathed, and I win this one, and we can do it before the end of the year.
How do you see that fight eventually going? Obviously you've got this fight on Saturday, so I'm sure you're not really focusing on it, but breaking it down, you're a former 2-weight world champion.
I'm focused on this fight at the minute, so Darren Traynor, and then obviously Herring is there, but I want the fight because I believe I can win it, but I'll focus on him once I deal with Darren Traynor.
Right. So hopefully by the end of the year, you and Jamel Herring get it on.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah.
Just a couple more. You've obviously been out the ring since November, Vegas. How much of a factor does that play, if any, on Saturday night, considering everyone's been out?
Well, I know that's the thing. Everyone's been out of the ring, so I'll be okay. It's no issue. I've been training. I have been training kind of since my hands were okay to do so. So the early part of the year, I've got a gym at my home. So I always take over and keep in reasonable shape and don't allow myself to balloon up too much. I don't think it's going to be an issue.
One man I know you've been sparring is Aki Fiaz. Obviously gutting that he couldn't get out on Saturday. Have you managed to spoke to him? Is he feeling a bit better?
I've seen him. He came to the gym on Friday and felt gutted for the kid, but it was the right decision by Jamel Herring, and it shows you what not just a good coach that Jamie is, but what a good man he is, and the fighter's health is first and foremost. And it was the right decision to make, and hopefully him and Kane Baker, I think they'll fight again. September they're talking about fighting, and hopefully it happens. Akeem's pride's hurt a wee bit, but he'll fight him and he'll win that fight.
Last week, Frank and Eddie Hearn obviously coming together possibly for some sort of crossover fights. A good thing?
Of course it is. That's what we want. We want all the top promoters working with each other, and if Frank and Eddie can do it, and then it's good for UK boxing, but also globally it's going to be good, and hopefully you can have Heyman and Golden Boy and PBC and Top Rank all working with each other, and this is what boxing needs.
And just last one, I think it was last week was sort of the anniversary since your win over Leo Santa Cruz. What do you recall from that night, and is that the best night of your career?
It's the best night of my career, obviously. I don't recall a lot of it, to be honest. Just a big night, top night, big performance for me. And, it was a good party afterwards. I remember that, parts of it.
Prediction for Saturday night before I let you go?
The win, and the win big.
Great stuff. Frampton, all the best for Saturday night. Cheers.